Next up, now we're going to talk a little bit about pro motocross before we head into a little bit of four-wheel racing that we wanted to talk about.
Correct.
So this weekend was the finals race
For pro motocross.
for pro motocross. Exactly. They were racing at Budds Creek Motocross Park. So that's what they were doing this weekend. And it was, we went into this weekend, the 450. We already knew Jet Lawrence had won the championship last weekend, so that was already done. However, this weekend was still important in terms of... Oh, somebody just lost the cable.
I don't know what cable it is.
This weekend was still important in terms of points because all the points matter for the upcoming playoffs.
Correct.
And also, one, if you're qualified automatically for the playoffs, and two, also your positioning going into the playoff round, because that will give you point advantage. For the 450 class, we had some really great racing also, especially from Justin Cooper, which was really exciting to see. He was, of course, he is, if I'm not mistaken, he is leading the overall championship going into the playoffs.
Okay.
But it was curious to see if maybe he could even take a moto win before this part of the season is over. Fortunately, he wasn't able to. He ended up coming in second for the first moto and in fourth for the second moto, but it was still some excellent results. The front was really dominated by Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, Justin Cooper, and RJ Hampshire. I also want to give a big shout out to Malcolm Stewart, because he's one of the very few riders who rode every single race this season. Of course, we saw
That's
him.
quite a feat. That's
a lot.
because those races are so freaking long.
Not only that, but it's also because with Supercross
Physically.
and Pro Motocross, it's a long, long season. And he competed in all the races. He did take home the win earlier this year in Florida, which was super exciting. Definitely one of my highlights of the year. And then the one of the losers, I guess, for the 450s, I would say, is Cody Schock. Unfortunately, because he ended up falling off the bike in the second moto.
Oh, with that stupid barrier
Yes,
too?
he got
so
then
annoying.
ended up pulling some of the barrier with him. And then he needed to make up one or two more spots because his quote unquote big rival Harrison ended up coming off the bike. He needed 3 additional points to make it officially into the playoffs, but now he always has to go through the wild card rounds, which is
so he has to do the LCQs, right?
well, they're called wild cards for the playoff season.
So that just means it's extra riding that you have to do, that, which is more exhausting.
Yes.
I don't know. This is the first time we'll be tuning into the
Playoffs.
I don't know how long the races there are. If it's also Moto 1, Moto 2. But what a huge bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so close because he fought so hard. And the first race, he ended up coming in 9th, which was really good, especially compared to the people he was battling. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
So overall, going into the playoffs for the 450, we have Justin Cooper in first, Jet Lawrence in second, and in third, because of they're both excellent race results for this weekend, Malcolm Stewart, which is really, really nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also awesome to see that his brother gets to commentate when know when he does so well. And I think also overall Malcolm is having I cannot comment as much about the pro motocross as much as it's Supercross, but overall he's been having a really great year. Supercross, he won his first race this year at home in Tampa, right? Was it? So it's just awesome to see him doing so well, and I hope he also has a good playoffs performance. I hope he can keep that going, maybe push it a little bit further, because third is a great starting point.
Yeah.
This also shows that you were quite consistent across both series.
I mean, he was more often than not in the top 10 at least.
Yeah.
So in that already, consistency is key.
Yeah.
It does, especially in such a long season. You can gain so many points, also almost like sneakily.
Yeah.
By being so consistent.
100%.
And then going into the 250s, of course, going into this weekend, it was a matter of which moto will make it official that Hayden Deegan will take the 250.
Incredibly unlikely for him to lose it. The only way he was gonna lose it is if he would have like gotten injured for whatever freaky reason.
Yes.
And like even though neither of us are Hayden Deegan fans, we wouldn't want that.
Yes.
You know, like if you're good enough to win, then you win, right? And he did.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He so the one really big interesting part was he originally was Moto 1 and Moto 2 winner. But then because so for the first moto, they had to do a restart because one of the riders went down. They had even the Red Cross flag out. And then both Hayden and Joe Shimoda jumped an obstacle, although they weren't allowed to. So that gave them a 5-point penalty. And then they also, because they did that while a rider was present or the down rider was present still, they got also a grid or like a position penalty. So instead of him winning both motos, we actually had Cole Davies win the race, which was...
So that's Hayden Deegan's teammate.
Hayden Deegan's teammate. Cole Davies, we remember vividly from Supercross, exactly, had a really excellent, especially end of the...
Yeah, he's so young.
The
He's like 17 or something like that.
He's turning 18, I think, this week. So he's incredibly young.
Yeah.
So he ended up winning the first moto, which was really cool. Also because he was out due to injury for a while.
Yes.
Last weekend was his first week back from a pro moto. He didn't have a great weekend last weekend.
Yeah.
But so for this
to
one,
come back and win a moto, that's excellent.
Yeah, I mean his second moto was not as good. He ended up coming in 17th.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that he can be competitive for pro moto as well. So I'm really excited to see how he does next season.
Even if he would have quote unquote not inherited the race, he would have finished P3, right? Because they did explain it.
Yeah.
They do this sequential. So because Joe Shimoda, who was in second place, got a grid penalty, he moved up one position, and then Hayden Deegan got his grid position penalty as well, or it moves up again.
Yes.
What I also thought was really interesting, and I think this is something more common in American sports, is to get penalties for the championship.
Oh,
to
gotcha.
get championship points deducted is a very interesting take. I guess it's like, hey, you're really not supposed to do this.
Yeah.
And I think also because if you jump a jump instead of like driving it or riding it, it can create like danger.
Yeah.
In this case, there wasn't someone at danger, but that's just the rule. You're not allowed to do that.
In a way because the rider was still there.
Oh, I thought they were to the side.
Well, but they were. I think they were still present
And
on the track, so that's why.
technically a blind jump, I think, because you're jumping over like this hill.
Because you're going upwards.
Exactly.
Also.
You're like there's a little like jump, but if you have enough speed on it, you're essentially clear this hill, so it is blind. You don't see what's behind it.
Yeah.
So I think it would have been more interesting if Joe could have avoided getting both penalties. Then it would have made things a little bit more interesting. But
I mean, it wouldn't have changed things overall as much.
Oh, that's true, because Hayden would have had to finish like in 15th or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
Hayden
It doesn't matter
already had won the championship after the first moto.
It didn't
Going
matter,
into the playoffs, he's also leading the pack overall by over 100 points.
Yeah.
Joe Shimoda is second.
Yeah, it didn't help that Joe had that stint where he had his finger broken in
No,
Supercross, right?
of course,
Bummer,
which is such a bummer. And then Garrett Marchbanks is in third going into the playoffs. So I'm really excited for that. I'm looking forward to hopefully watching some of those races.
Yeah.
Now the last